Good afternoon, and a warm welcome to St Mary's. On behalf of the entire Trevelyan family, I want to thank you for your presence here, for your many words of consolation, above all, for the many prayers you have offered at the death of our brother, George. As family and friends, we are here to pay tribute to our dearly beloved brother, George Trevelyan, who was lost to us in a tragic air accident. George will be remembered by all who knew him for his sense of fun and fairness. He would go out of his way to right a wrong if he could, and always with a smile. Sure, he forgot our names at times or mixed them up, but his life crossed many paths both in business and socially. George led a busy life at work, which involved him making many overseas journeys, which gave him such inspiration for his second love, that of painting. Indeed, I'm privileged to have one of George's watercolors hanging in my office. God blessed George with a love for his family and friends. The family has been heartened to read and hear the many words of praise and admiration for him, and for his influence on all of us. But more important to us and to him is that he was George. He was the brother that God gave us for the great adventure. And now, the family invite you all to join them at our new social area at the back of the church for refreshments. Do come and join us.
Dad, who is that? I haven't seen him before.
Oh, that specimen of humanity. That's my younger brother, Arthur.
I didn't know I had another uncle. Why hasn't anyone mentioned him before?
Oh, he left the family under a cloud just after you were born. He went to live in Australia.
What cloud? What had he done?
Best you don't know too much. God knows why he's chosen now to reappear.
I wonder what our dear brother has turned up for. I must admit I didn't recognise him at first. It's been away a very long time.
Yes, 32 years to be precise. Oh, just hope he hasn't come back to make mischief.
Hello. I gather you're my uncle, Arthur, is that right?
And you are?
Natalie, Ted's daughter.
Well, quite the young lady now, aren't you? You were knee-high when I last saw you.
So, Dad says you moved to Australia. Things didn't work out for you here, so you left. What happened? I'm interested.
You mean to say you don't know? You must be the only member of the family who doesn't.
Well, I get the impression that there's an elephant in the room, going by the looks that you're getting. But that just makes me more interested to find out what happened. How many years ago?
32.
So are you going to tell me?
Let them have their tea and chew the fat over me first.
I look forward to hearing it.
Arthur.
What are you doing here? Thought we'd seen the last of you.
That's a nice thing to say to your long-lost brother after all these years. Still, blood is thicker than water.
It isn't in your case. You brought shame on this family. and I don't want you talking to my daughter.
I hope you haven't come to make a scene. Ted and I don't think it would be appropriate to bring up past issues. Today's about George, not you.
I'm aware of that, but I'm here to pay my respects to my dear brother George, who all those years ago was the only member of the family to believe in me, and it would have been nice to be informed about his memorial personally, instead of finding out in a newspaper announcement.
Oh, don't get angry, Arthur, please. I'm sure that was an oversight, and we're sorry. At least you made it, although it was a long way to come.
I was here on business, but I combined the two.
You be careful what you say. I don't want you upsetting the rest of the family.
I will have my say. I hope I don't upset too many people.
Well,
He says he'll tell us later, but what about, I don't know.
About why he's come halfway round the world, perhaps?
I really don't know. But if he makes a scene, there'll be trouble, I can tell you. And I'm not happy that he's been talking to Natalie.
was he angry? With us? With you?
I don't know. I don't think so. But we'll find out soon enough.
I'm sorry to break into your conversation, but I've got something to say. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Arthur Trevelyan, and I live in Australia. That's why not many of you know me, but I expect you've heard the gossip. The passing of my dear brother George gives me the opportunity to clear up a few misunderstandings and explain why there's a rift in our family. 32 years ago, I was accused of sexual abuse. In fact, interfering with a couple of Boy Scouts in the troop I ran. Then, in those days, as now, it was a criminal act if I was convicted, but I was innocent. Most of the family didn't believe in my innocence, so they decided to pack me off to Australia before criminal proceedings to save the Trevelyan family any embarrassment, God bless him. George was the only one of my siblings to believe in my innocence. And as the man in the church said, he moved heaven and earth to clear my name, which he did. Because it turns out that under investigation, the boys confessed that they'd made the whole allegations up because they were angry at my chastisement of them for a previous silly matter. Well, my innocence didn't appease my family. I didn't have an apology from that day to this. Never let the truth get in the way of a good scandal, eh? 32 years is a long, long time, and I'm happily married now with a son and daughter. So I don't have to explain myself to any of them. As they say, blood is thicker than water. Looking round, I don't know if that's true. Now, many of you may know George travelled to Australia often on business. What you may not be aware of, that it wasn't always on business. He visited me very often because we were very close. So I'm pleased to be at his memorial, though it does grieve me he won't have a proper funeral. It's ironic that his plane crashed on his return from a visit to me. But his body will never be found. There's a lot of water in the Indian Ocean. I'll go now and leave you to your wake. Oh, but before I go, could you maybe raise our glasses in a toast? Oh, not many have got glasses, so let's just stand in solemn tribute. George.
George.
Uncle Arthur? That was pretty cool. That took a lot of guts. Well done. I didn't know any of that stuff about you and Uncle George. Are you going to disappear now for another 32 years?
Probably. I don't think I'd be very welcome round here, do you?
No, probably not. But I'd like to keep in touch, if you'd like to.
That would be nice. Thank you, Natalie.
My email and phone details are on this. When you make contact, then I'll have yours.
I don't go back till Sunday. I'd like to meet up before I go.
Okay, just let me know where and when. The elephant has just left the room.